Hey there, all my friends and family and fans. Welcome back to another episode of Planet Coaster. It is Sunday, the weekend, and here we are back in Crystal Gardens Park. This episode was supposed to air yesterday, but I had some computer problems yesterday, and I couldn't get the episode done in enough time in order to stream and everything. And I spent like 8 hours the day before working on a video for my park news stuff, which sadly has only gotten a little less than 70 views in 3 days. So, but hopefully that will pick up because I really worked hard on that. I spent a lot of time doing that episode, and I really kind of want that to kick off because it's something I want to do other than just doing Planet Coaster. I'm a huge theme park enthusiast. I love doing stuff like that. I'm always keeping track of news and stuff like that. So I thought maybe I could, do like a news show or something like that. I keep saying something like that. It's almost like I'm saying whatnot. Anyway, but I'm hoping it kind of takes off and, kind of goes from there. And it will give me something else to do on my channel other than just Planet Coaster and, making other videos for other games that you guys don't watch. But anyway, let's jump into what we're doing right now. So, what we have here is a RMC coaster that I've been kind of working on. And unfortunately, I did have some footage of the building of the actual coaster, but it was on a different hard drive, and that hard drive crashed yesterday, which is why I was having some computer problems. That's pretty much what happened. As soon as I plug it up, like if I plug in the SATA power and the SATA cable for it, the computer will not load. If I unplug them, it loads just fine. As soon as I plug them back up, it just won't load. It gets into the Windows boot screen, and I just get a little thing that just goes around and around and around. It doesn't ever do anything. So the only way I can get my computer to work is by unplugging that specific hard drive. I have a total of 4 hard drives in my computer. One of them is an SSD, and then I have my I have 2 1 terabyte hard drives, and then I have a 500 gigabyte hard drive. I also have an external drive as well, but I don't really count that as being in the computer. But so what's kind of happened with that is I don't really know. The 500 gig there's something wrong with it, and it had some footage on that I kind of needed. One of those pieces of footage that I needed was the creation of this coaster, which was on that drive. So we lost that, which means I can only make you the video for, basically with it already being done and what we kind of did with it. Now, right off the bat, one of the things you've kind of noticed about this coaster was an idea that we had to put it over top of the Super Loop, the Larson Super Looper, which is it a coaster? Is it not a coaster? I'm a firm believer that it's a flat ride, but there are some people who call it a coaster. So, Six Flags, sorry, it's a flat ride. But yeah, so I had this idea to have it go over top of the looper, and it was a really cool idea. So I tried to figure out how to make that work. It didn't take me long to come up with an idea for it. So basically what it does is it goes up, it comes down, it goes through a 0G row, and then it comes off of that over an airtime hill over top of this and into the Cyclone itself, which is a 3-leveled helix, like Rosebow type thing. So that's where the coaster kind of gets its name. So I call it Cyclone. It was originally this is kind of delving into like theoretical history of the park, but eventually what this was one of our older wooden coasters, the second wooden coaster to ever be built in the park, and they decided it needed an update. The layout for the original one was kind of similar, but not just kind of similar. It still had this helix and stuff over here, but it was just getting a little rough, and so the park decided, we'd get Rocky Mountain Coaster to come in and redo this coaster. And at the same time, we added the Super Loop in there as well, so we kind of put both of the rides in there at the same time. And that's where we get this. So they added a 0G row, they fixed up the track, we got some airtime hills. One thing that's not in this video you don't see is I actually made a a more than 90-degree bank on the last part of it there. So we do have that in it as well. You'll see that in the video afterwards, and also in the POV when I do it. Now, I know a lot of you guys have asked for POVs of the coasters and stuff that I do in my park. They are coming, I promise. I don't like to do the POVs until things are done, and I don't feel like, I mean, the park is close to done, but there's still a lot of detail work to do, and that's the things I'm working on right now at the moment, is the detail work on this park. So, yeah, that's kind of what's going on. We don't have a whole lot. What I'm basically doing in this video is just kind of working on Fireball right now at the moment, which is what we call the Larson Looper. You know, I kind of gave it this like brick kind of surrounding, I guess. You know, I used a lot of like red brick textures and stuff. I don't know, it just kind of reminds me of like a barbecue pit or something. I don't know why, it just kind of does. Maybe you guys see my vision, I don't know. It's like a fire pit kind of thing. I got it, I guess I kind of took the reference from Fireball at one of the Six Flags parks. Even though it's not, you know, their loopers are just pretty much very simple. They don't have much of a queue line or anything. I gave this one, you know, as my park likes to do, we like to put a little bit of effort into things, because we're not owned by Six Flags. We're not owned by Cedar Fair or anything like that. We're just more of a, it's kind of its own thing. And so they don't have to worry about, oh, we got to put money into this other park this year, and then, you know, this park's going to get this and this park's going to get this. We can just concentrate on our own park. And one of the main things about my parks is beauty. Skylines, vistas, beauty of the park itself, trees, shade. You know, I don't want it to be a park that's just a bunch of concrete and that be it. So everything I do, I concentrate on like different angles and stuff to try to get the best views. And we also want to put a lot of trees and stuff in it as well to offer a lot of shade and stuff to our guests. This was something that, in my opinion, Kings Island used to do quite well. And I know I always go back to Kings Island, but it is the park that I have the most experience with from a younger age. And this was before Paramount got it and before Cedar Fair owned it. But back when it was owned by Taft Broadcasting, which was Hanna-Barbera, the park had just a whole lot of beauty to it. And that's kind of what I want to capture in about every park that I build, really. We don't do a whole lot of high theming. It's a very generic park, you know, so it doesn't have a whole lot of sections that are just like this section is this section is that. But we do try to theme the area that the actual coasters are in a little bit to that particular coaster, or, you know, other things. So, yeah, that's really all I kind of have to say about what we're doing at the moment. We're getting ready to go into actually building the entrance, though, right here for Cyclone. And I wanted this old classic, you know, like racer kind of entrance. That's kind of what I was going for. It's tough to do in Planet Coaster, though, because the way that it is, it has this, what do you call it? It's like those wooden strips, lattice. Yeah, it has a lot of lattice and stuff on it. Not lettuce, lattice. Lattice. So, yeah, we're not talking about like a vegetable or whatever that's going on. But it has a whole lot of lattice and stuff involved in the way that the actual station or the entry and stuff looks. And that was something I kind of wanted to capture, but you don't have a whole lot of things you can kind of work with in this game. We have these beams, and these are the smallest beams that we have. I've seen people make chain link fences out of the electrical cables, but you can't paint the electrical cables, so, you know, that wouldn't work. Plus, there's only one size of them, so again, also would not work. I had to do this lattice work out of the smallest beams that we had. Now, there you see they're kind of straight. I do go in and actually change that around a little bit and make them at more of an angle to kind of capture the feeling that I was kind of going for, and it came out sort of good. I also have recently figured out that another good thing to use for lattice is those icing pieces, which I think you'll see in a minute. I think I have it in this video. If not, you'll see it in the showcase. The icing pieces, there's a couple of them that actually work pretty good as lattice if you kind of shift them just right, and you can make them work. I like it. I think it looks good. We put the sign over top of it. I had some trouble here at the end of the video. You'll see what I mean. I had some trouble trying to figure out what kind of sign to use for this, and then I was like, I don't even know what we're gonna call this. I did settle on Cyclone though, so it didn't become like Wicked Cyclone or Twisted Cyclone or anything like that, or New Cyclone. It was just Cyclone. We just kept the name. We changed the coaster but kept the name. There's the icing pieces I was talking about. Those do, if you fix them just right, they do kind of resemble lattice in the game if you use your imagination. It's not perfect. I mean, obviously they still look like, icing. But yeah, I kind of like it. And I really like the kind of waviness of the building as well. I wish that these pieces that we have right here to make these the swooping pieces, I wish they weren't at such a freaking angle. I also wish maybe we could rotate those as well. That would be awesome, but they're on a grid, so we can't. Now this last part of this video is me basically trying to figure out what kind of sign I wanted to do. The first one is the one I actually ended up settling on, but I did try some other stuff as you see here. But I did just go back to the first one I tried, and I was pretty happy with that. I think all in all, this coaster came out quite well. I hope you guys agree with me. I know the video, I really wish I could have got the video of the actual making of the coaster itself so you can see me do the shaping and do the elements and stuff on it and have it go over top of it. I had it. I don't know where it went, and it sucks terribly. I'm 100% sure that it was on that other drive, and when I tried to access that drive yesterday, so here's basically kind of what happened real quick before I go. I don't even know if I have enough time. So I got up yesterday morning and I was gonna make this video. I was like, I have a video somewhere of where I made this coaster, and I went to look for it, and I noticed, wait a minute, I've got a drive that's not showing up here. So I turned off my computer and restarted it, and I couldn't get it to boot. And that's when I kind of figured out, okay, I've got an issue here. So I spent 3 or 4 hours working on that, and that's why the video didn't get there yesterday, but it's here today. So, yeah. I very much thank everybody for tuning in for this episode. I can't wait for the next episode of Whitaker Lake, which will be Tuesday. Thursday, we have another park tour coming up of a park that somebody has submitted to me for that. And then again on Saturday, back to Crystal Gardens. We'll have lots of things in between there. Don't forget Friday, I'll be doing another park news episode. We'll be, talking about all the news of parks and stuff that's around the world that has happened. And we'll have some other stuff this week as well. That's it for me. Thanks so much for watching this video. Thanks so much for being a fan. I'm going to head out of here. You guys have a great rest of what's remaining of the weekend. And I'll see you in tomorrow's video, and if you tune into my Twitch stream, I'll see you on that as well. Later, everybody. Hey everyone, if you'd like to help support me and my channel, I have a Patreon page where you can do just that. You can pledge anything from $1 or more. Anyone who pledges $15 or more gets a unique, specially designed roller coaster and Planet Coaster made just for them. My little way of saying thanks. You can also just send donations as well if you don't want to join Patreon. And you can find those links in the video description below. Every tiny red cent I make from these means the world to me and is extremely helpful. If you're interested in my PC setup that I work with and play on that you see here, every piece of the system is described below with links to Amazon if you want to purchase them or anything else. Thanks for tuning in to my videos and my channel. If you aren't already a subscriber, click that on the screen below. And you can also check out a few of my other videos on the screen here as well. You can keep up to date on what's going on in my own little world via Twitter or watch me stream live on Twitch as well. Links are in the video description below. So wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night.